For this next lesson, we're going to learn how to save and load a selection. Again, starting with this B3 file, we're going to go ahead and, again, right now this is what they consider a grayscale image. So we want to go ahead and change that so we can actually change it to RGB mode, but we're going to do what's called applying an adjustment, which we're going to make it posterized. So you need to click on the word image from your list of menu choices. You're going to mouse down to adjustments, and then you're going to select posterize. It's about halfway down from your cascading menu. And again, you want to make sure that the level slider for your posterized method is set to 4. Because I've got my preview box checked, you can see how that's changing that image in this area here. Go ahead and click OK. We're going to go back to image. We're going to change it the mode. Again, right now, as I said, it's grayscale. We're going to change it to RGB color. That allows us to actually change the colors within the file. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a selection of the white area using our magic wand tool. And again, you've done that previously. Select your magic wand tool. Again, you want to change your tolerance down to 1. We only want white pixels selected, so that will not select any other values as far as like a very, very light gray. Again, you only want the white selected, so we're changing our tolerance to 1. And you want to make sure this time that our anti-alias and contiguous boxes are unchecked. And then just click in a white area of the image. So again, when you do that, you'll notice you're going to have pixels selected throughout the entire image, and that is exactly what you want to have. So what we're going to do is we're going to save that selection, which means you can come back later and apply colors to that. So again, you go to Select and Save Selection, and then you basically title it. We're going to leave this, again, it always has the file name here. It's saving it in a new channel, and because we saved white pixels, we're just going to call it white for ease. So again, we're going to click OK. I give you Command D now to deselect that. If you want to reload that selection, you go to Select and then select Load Selection. And again, when you do multiples, as in the chapter work, you would click the drop-down box here. And again, in the actual chapter files, you're going to be doing white, black, gray. Again, you'll have a total of 4. So again, to load the selection, you click the selection that you want loaded. And again, there it is. So that is how you save and load a selection. For the next portion, I'm going to show you how to actually work with a feathered edge. And again, we're going to go ahead and go to that file. And again, you can see the actual image. It looks like an old-time poster image of a woman in a dress. So again, you want to make sure that the default foreground and background colors are selected in your tool palette. You want to choose your elliptical marquee in your tool palette. Again, in your feather checkbox, you're going to change that value to 32. So what that basically does is when you make that selection around her face, what it's going to do is it's actually going to soften it up. Okay? So again, we're going to soften up that edge. So again, when you move that edge or move that selection, you'll notice how the edges are softened. Again, that's working with a feathered edge. Again, if I deselect that, you can see the difference without that selection marquee. So I'm going to step backwards to show you the difference. So again, I'm going to go ahead and go all the way backwards here. So again, when I select my elliptical marquee, if I change my feather to 0, and now when I draw that marquee and select my move tool, you can see it's a harsh edge. So again, that's the difference of using a feathered edge. And again, it's whether it's a hard edge or whether it's a softened edge. Again, refining selection edges. We're going to go ahead and open up that file. And again, it's the picture of the eagle. And again, it's the B6 file. So again, it looks just like that. Again, we're going to go ahead and use the magic wand tool for this particular case. I'm sorry, we're going to go ahead and use the quick selection tool. It's underneath the magic wand tool. And then as soon as you select that, you have styles of brushes up in your context sensitive menu. We're going to go ahead and change the size to 10 pixels by clicking on the arrow and choosing that from the drop down list. And again, when you basically now click within that eagle's head, it's going to be making selections, and I'm just clicking and dragging. What it does, it keeps adding to that selection. That's an easy way to get the eagle's head selected. Now we're going to refine that edge, so we go to Select, and again you're going to select Refine Edge. It's about halfway down, In the view list box, again, I'm going to move this over. You have choices of how you want that image to be appearing. So again, you can adjust your edges here. For the view, you can have it show on black with marching ants. You can do an overlay. Again, here's your black. Here it's on white. There's black and white showing. You can have it show on layers. And again, for this particular case, we're going to show on white. And again, in the edge detection section, get that there. You want the smart radius to be not checked. And you're going to drag your radius slider. And again, as you do that, you can see a little bit of difference. We're going to take it over up to about 30. You won't really notice a lot of difference until you get into the higher values. So again, here at the low values, you don't see a lot of difference. When I get up to the values in the 30s, there you can see the edge is a little bit refined. It's a little bit softer. Again, change your smooth sliding area. Again, you just want to play around with these to see the differences that those values make. So again, that is how you basically refine your selection edges. And again, I'm going to change my contrast down to about 12. I'm going to set my smooth value again to 3. I want it to be a very small value. And then click OK. And then your edges are refined. And again, you can see because of it's basically feathers, you want it to match as closely to the feathers as you can possibly get. Now, what we want to basically do is we want everything to be selected outside of the eagle's head. So to do that, because we have it actually selected, we're going to go to Select and Inverse, and now everything else but the eagle head is selected. So that is how you invert a selection. We can then go to Edit on our list of menu choices. We can choose Fill, and we can fill with a color. So again, when I choose Fill, I'm going to use the background color, which is the background color in our tool palette. Click OK, and it fills it with white. I can then Command D to deselect, and you can see the difference. Again, that's just refining edges. That concludes this chapter work.